All right, guys, well, let's go ahead and get to it. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Thank you for being here tonight. This is our evening edition of Forex Live, and as always on Monday nights, what we're doing is pretty quick. This will be a really quick call. Probably be out of here in less than half an hour. The purpose of the call on Monday nights is to, number one, showcase how we utilize the Forex alerts and our software, our trading tools for our new students, and then we go through the daily report and just talk about how we can utilize that on a weekly basis to set up and look for key areas that we should be watching throughout our trading day or even our trading week. And then tomorrow morning we'll be back, and then again on Thursday and Friday, I believe, we'll be back to actually utilize the same tools under live market conditions and find some trades that we can take real time. So tonight we'll be parking some trades that we find from the Forex alerts. Before we get started, though, we do have to let you know that unique experiences and past performances do not guarantee future results. I think everyone here understands that. We know that trading involves risk. There's no guarantees, but I do need to put this up for you and give you just a second to read through that, and then we'll come back and get on with it. All right, that should be long enough. Let's close that down. All right, so the things we should have open for our trading day is we need to have our trading software, whatever platform that might be, and installed on your platform would be the tools from 21st Century Forex Trader. Now, your tools could be a couple of different things. We might have the chart trader software that looks like this. This is with our thermal grids. So you might see one called FTT thermal grid. You might have one called FTT pending market or pending order or market order. Then we also have the pending order pro and pending order hedge, and then market order pro are the various softwares that we'll have on there. The only real differences would be the FTT, which stands for Fast Track Trader, has the thermal grids on it, whereas the others will not have that thermal grid system. So you want to have those one of those applied, and we typically for our evening classes, even our daily classes, we use the chart trader or the pending order software because we're not really keen to necessarily enter market orders. I'd rather park a trade and let the market move to us versus chasing it through a market order under different conditions. So what we'll be doing, so we should have this open. The other thing that we should have open for the night is our Forex alert from Forex Joe, and you'll find that in your members area by going to Forex alerts and then clicking on trade alert, and the very top one that pops up would be the most current alert. This is in this case for Monday, January 6th. The last thing that we'll have open is our daily report, and you can get that by going to Forex Alerts, Daily Report, and then when you go there, it'll open up your most recent daily report, again for Monday night, January 6th. So we should have those three things open. Typically, you might have a news source if you're going to be trading live over the course of the Asia session or London session. You might have your Forex Factory or FX Street open, but we won't really need that tonight. We just need our trade alert and our daily report. So for our trade alert, Forex Joe goes through every evening, has a look at the marketplace, summarizes what's occurred, and then also gives us some information on potential pitfalls that might be coming up, possible news drivers for the week, so that we're aware of them, can mark our calendars for them. And then as he goes on, he gives us our potential trades. And so that's what we'll look at tonight. We'll park an order for the euro, and just to show how we utilize the software. And then we'll go over to our daily report and have a look at that to see if we see any key levels that we want to trade from for some other pairs. So jumping right into it, and this, a lot of folks will just scroll right down to the report from Forex Joe, to the trade alert from Forex Joe. I do encourage you to read the commentary. Some days there's more, some days there's less. But the commentary always has a lot of great information for us that will help us as we trade throughout the course of today and really the rest of the week as well. So what we'll look at here under current market conditions, Forex Joe is looking at a scalper's move. We always are going to see a scalper's buy and a scalper's sell, and then if he sees an advanced, more experienced trade, he'll put that in, but there's not an experienced trade for us during this session. So for the euro, we see that we have a buy at 30, that would actually be 36.39, and then we have a sell at 36.14. So looking at this, what we would do is we're currently trading here at 36.24. So we have our pending order software up. It's got red and green lines on the screen, and we just simply are going to move these lines into place and then select move to buy or move to sell to execute the trade. So we just simply look here, 36.39, and we're going to grab our green lines for buys, and we'll move that to 36.39. Now you can do this two ways. We can either eyeball it, which is what I'm doing presently. You can just kind of eyeball it to get that into that 36.39 area. And do the same with your stop loss. And then we're going to do the same here for moving our take profit levels. Now, what I look at typically, if we're at 36.39, we want to keep our stop loss fairly tight. Forex Joe lets us know here we're looking to take profit 5 to 12 pips, take profit 2, 8 to 25 pips. These scalpers trades are usually momentum type trades. So if a price gets to this level, we're expecting some momentum to carry it through. So what we don't want to do is risk 30 pips to make 5 or 8 pips. So what we'll do is if we're going to have our take profit 1, at 8 pips or so, then we'll keep our stop loss at about 8 to 9 pips as well. So we get that set. We just drag the lines where we'd like them to be, and once those are set, we simply click move to buy, and voila, it takes just a second for the market to click over, and now we have a pending order parked waiting for price to move to that level and take us in. On the flip side, on the sell side, we're going to sell 36.14. Now I mentioned you can eyeball it, which is just simply clicking it and dragging it to the 36.14 area, or if you want to be spot on exactly at the numbers for Forex Joe is, you can actually just simply right click this, go to trend line properties, and then here you can enter 36.14, 36.14, and you're moved exactly to that level. Same for your stop loss. You want to keep that fairly tight at that 8 pips or so, and then we'll do the same here for our take profit 1. We'll get that one set. Take profit 2, and once these trades are exactly where we'd like them to be, move to sell, and voila, we're in. It's just that easy. It's super easy to use. Once the trades are on, you know what your maximum risk is. It's the entry point to your stop loss. That's your maximum risk on the trade. And then as the trade moves, if it goes to your take profit 1, as soon as it gets there, the software automatically moves our stop loss to break even +1, so the trade is protected, and we lock in those pips. So it's working for us even if we're not here. Now, this caveat is that you have to have your trading computing or anything like that. It needs to be actually running in order for the executable, in order for that expert advisor to actually run. So do keep that in mind. So there you go. That's how we utilize the software. Super easy. And now moving over to the daily report, what we do here is we utilize this data report a couple of different ways. Now, when we're under live market conditions, as it will be tomorrow, we utilize the daily report in conjunction with our daily trading regimen so that we can walk through it and actually find trades based on what we're finding here for our daily, weekly, monthly channels. Also based on our support and resistance numbers that we see coming up. But for Sunday night or Monday night, what I like to do is grab the report and just have a quick look through it to see, are there key areas that I should be watching where price might be, where we might be able to take a quick buy or sell depending on where it is. See if there's a key level where price is lining up at that daily, weekly, and monthly at the same time, where we might have a very heavy support or resistance level. So to do that, all I do is this will just take you a couple of minutes, is to pull up that daily report and start scrolling through. Now the first thing we see here on the Euro USD is we see 33.29. So on a monthly and a weekly level, 33.29 is a channel bottom. That's a pretty significant level. Now we're not there yet. We're still quite a ways away. We see that 3600, 35.98 is our closest channel bottom for the daily level. But if it does break that and pushes down, if we get to 33.29, we should be watching that area. Not something we're going to do today. It's not close enough just yet, but just a number for your back pocket there. Scrolling on through, looking for 3 of 3 channels. We have the pound USD. We're seeing that same thing, 60.44. Big number for us here. Weekly and monthly, so midterm and long-term channel bottom, but not nothing lining up for 3 of 3 channel just yet. Same here, US Swissy, seeing a key level up here at the channel top. Up here we go, US yen, so 104.05. Now this is a key level. We're seeing a channel bottom at 104.05. It's a 3 of 3 channel. So let's just have a look here. The US yen, 104.05, and we see that that's a thermal grid level. It's a red level. It's also a key channel for us here. So what we could do, 104.05, we are currently trading above it. When we see a significant channel like that, what we typically like to do, the Forex Joe teaches us, is the first time it gets there, it's typically going to bounce. Now, does that mean it always will bounce? Absolutely no. There's no 100% in trading, other than 100% of the time there is no 100%. But what we can do here is look to set up a trade. Oops. There we go. So we could keep this fairly tight and look to buy this the first time it gets to 104.05. So if it does push down there, we'd look for a bounce the first time it gets to that level. So I'll go ahead and park a trade there and see if we can't pick up some pips on that one. So US yen, scrolling on down, US CAD, nothing. So all I'm really doing right now is looking for 3 of 3 channels. I'm looking for areas where we've got the daily, weekly, and monthly channel top or channel bottom lining up at the same number. And when I see a 3 of 3 channel, that's typically a very heavy level of support or resistance. And we know if we're trading below it and it moves up to that level, we typically want to sell it the first time. If it moves down to that level, we typically want to buy it the first time. Now, after that, you want to watch under live market conditions to see what's actually occurring there and what else is happening. And we apply the other levels of training that Forex has given us to know if we're going to continue, buying it or continue selling it. We might want to wait for a break. It really depends on what's actually occurring at that point under live conditions before we place that second trade. Here on the New Zealand USD, 85.24. Here's oh no, it's not. My bad. I thought that was lining up. It's not. So nothing there on the New Zealand either. Euro yen, 141.69 as a channel bottom. So here again, the euro yen. If this is a pair that you trade, 141.69. If we did push down to that level. Key channel lining up as a 3 of 3 channel. So what I would do is I can park an order here, take my buy. We're currently trading above it, so if it pushes down to that key level, that key 3 of 3 channel, then I'm going to look to buy that the very first time it gets there. Now again, we just know from experience that there's a high probability that the trade would bounce the first time it gets there. Does that mean it always will? Nope. Absolutely not, but more times than not it does. So with that in mind, we're going to set that trade and see if we can't get a bounce there and lock in some pips. Here on the euro pound, you've got 83.19 lining up as a channel top. If that's a pair that you trade, that might be an interesting spot to look for parking in order if you're right there at 83.19. We have a lot of them lining up today. It's interesting. I don't know if you guys, those of you that have been with us before, we've experienced this in the past, and it's almost like clockwork. The Mondays before non-farm payroll, we typically see more key levels being tested than we do during other times during the week. So here again, pound yen, key levels lining up as a channel top here at 83. That's incorrect. Just to make a note, Chuck, if you're on, you might want to regenerate this report for the pound yen. See, scrolling on down, 9,500 here on the Aussie CAD. Looks like we've got a key level lining up as a channel bottom. That's also a whole number, so that adds even a little bit more significance to that level. So it just really takes you a couple of minutes to go through this report and look for those key channels. Here again, the CAD yen. Looks like we have a channel bottom here that's being established. So it just takes you a couple of minutes. If you're not talking, you can run through this report in about 5 minutes and really place all of your trades. If you're trading all 22 currency pairs, some folks just wait for 3 of 3 channels to show up, and they trade that on all the pairs. Others of you might just have a couple of key pairs that you watch, that you quote stock, as Forex Joe says. And if you've got a couple of key pairs that you stock, then you might just only be looking at the report for those couple of pairs, and then if it's at a key level, you trade that as well. So there's a couple of different ways you can utilize this report, but it's a great way to set up your entire trading week, because typically as these key levels are tested, even if they're broken, they're typically retested over the course of the week. So you're probably going to see it again if you're seeing it today. So just take the time to scroll through that, find your key levels, and then from here you can get your trades, put your trades on and let the software do the work for you while you're off watching the Seminoles-Auburn game coming up here in about 12 minutes. So it's the college championship, so should be a big game. Excited to see that one. Just finishing this off. Yeah, that's it. So we had quite a few 3 of 3 channels that we could take trades off of. I don't trade all of those, under this method. So we did find some trades on the U.S. yen and the Euro yen, and we put on, of course, our trade from Forex Joe here on the Euro USD. So those will play out. I'll leave the computer on. Those will play out, and then we're back tomorrow morning for our live class at 8 a.m. Local time, 9 a.m. Eastern, and we'll be looking at live conditions and utilizing the report in conjunction with our daily trading regimen, and show how we actually utilize this to set up for day trades or even scalp trades on an intraday basis. So as promised, we kept this one pretty darn quick. We've talked through how we use the software. We've talked through how we use the daily report to set ourselves up for for the week, to look at key levels. And so we've accomplished exactly what we had hoped to accomplish. We did that in record time, I think. So I'll let you guys get back to your evenings or back to your days, depending on where you are. Thank you very much for taking time out to join us today. And then be sure to be back with us tomorrow morning to catch our Forex Live class for live conditions, and we'll be trading live. All right, well, have a great one, and we'll talk to you guys soon.